A client just asked me this week, how do we create all these systems and processes you're talking about? My leadership team is pushing back on me on this because it's going to be a nightmare. We do so many different things here. Well, a lot of organizations do so many different things, but you don't document everything. You don't need to start there. You just need to start with what's most critical. Well, then the question is, well, what's most critical? Well, what needs to be able to happen when the person who currently does the job isn't there? What does someone else need to be able to do in order to answer a question, provide the needed information, move the product forward in production if the current person who typically does that job isn't there? Now, what you simply need is a numbered checklist or some kind of simple process to follow so that if someone else needs to step in and take over for someone else, long-term or just on a short-term 2-hour basis, what are some of the instructions that they need to allow them to do that job? Now, I know this can be a nightmare just to think about having to document all these things, but a simple process that I've shared with clients for years is identify who is going to be the backup, who's going to be the person that's going to be expected to do the work while someone else is away. Pair those two people up, and then simply talk it through, and with the person who's going to be the backup, have them document, capture notes that are going to be meaningful to them so that they can follow those instructions when the other person is away. They can create a checklist. They can write narrative sentences if that's going to help them. They can draw diagrams. They can take pictures. They can create a video. They can do a small webinar. What's going to help them remember and understand how to do this job when they have to? And then, before the person that they're going to replace or take over for temporarily is away, test the process. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to get documented and get done. Now, before I wrap this up, keep in mind that what will happen if you have a couple people do this same process, invariably, they're each going to do it slightly differently. So what you need to do, obviously, is have everyone come together. Once you have a couple different variations of the process documented, and talk through them all to identify what are some of the best practices, what are some of the consistencies, and where do you have obvious variations that need to be addressed. It's an important activity that can help you not only train more people, create greater flexibility, but identify where you may have some inefficiencies, but also where you may have some best practices. Keep it simple, document your processes.